So California is an absolute mess right now. Absolute mess right now. We have so many videos to show you to the point that we don't even know where to get started with. Rob, why don't you just start off with a couple of these clips? So the riots started because of what's going on with ICE being there, and it's not pretty. Gavin Newsom, originally, they're like, well, you know, everything is peaceful. I don't know why they're reacting. Nothing's going on here. People are just peaceful protests. Mayor Bass, peaceful protests. And then all of a sudden it got so bad that I posted a video saying, hey, are you guys at all going to say anything that you're not supporting this behavior? You're not condoning this behavior? And then one by one, you saw everybody blame Donald Trump for all of it. Rob, if you can go on Twitter and show a couple of things that I tweeted about Gavin Newsom. And one of the things that was, right there. So look at this. They're sitting there. Gavin Newsom tweets out saying, join LAPD and LASD and state emergency officials in LA. We respond to protests provoked by chaos from Washington. We're here to keep the peace, not playing to Trump's political games. Now watch this. Go on the picture, Rob. Zoom in a little bit. They're not playing political at all. So there's one guy over there taking pictures. One girl's taking pictures. Cameras, just to show, like, look how hard we're working on this here, right? And then all the way at the top, I said, if you can go back, Rob, I said, hey, it seems you blame Trump for every crisis in California. California wildfires, Trump's fault. Empty reservoirs, Trump's fault. California $12 billion bill, budget deficit, his fault. Riots in L.A., now it's again Trump's fault. So what are you guys going to be doing? Then he responds and says, I cannot believe they're sending National Guard against its people, Rob. Do you have those clips of what he's saying on, trashing Trump and just calling him out? I don't know which ones you got, Rob.
Yes, I have Gavin Newsom, where he announces that they will be filing suit against the United States government for sending in the...
Play the clip. Play the clip, Rob. Where's it at, Rob?
Sorry, it just dropped. Newsom.
Fast typer.
Is that the one?
Yep.
Back down here at the border, Tijuana, right
Oh,
behind
no,
me,
I'm sorry. That's
San
the wrong
Diego.
clip. I apologize. That's the wrong clip. That's from 2024,
I'm just
where
gonna
he asked
read,
for...
Rob, until you find
Here
these
it is.
things.
Oh, that's it.
In the White House, there might be a television on, and he might be watching us
I hope so.
right now.
Yeah, he can learn something.
What might you say to him if I'll give you the floor. You have the opportunity. What you weren't able to say to him on that phone call or calls that he hasn't taken today?
Where's your decency, Mr. President? Stop. Rescind this order. It's illegal and unconstitutional. And I said it. I'll say it again. It's immoral. Wrong. You're creating the conditions that you claim you're solving, and you're not. And you're putting real people's lives at risk. This is a serious moment, and it requires serious leadership.
Professional
and it's time for you to be a commander-in-chief of the United States of America. Of all time. And I will have your back if you want to work in a relationship of trust and truth in the spirit of our founding fathers. But you come after poor kids, you come after families, we will do everything in our power to stand up and stand in your way. He almost did.
Governor Gavin Newsom, what time are you filing the lawsuit tomorrow?
Very early in the morning. I'd love to do it tonight, but we got lawyers working on the brief.
Tom Homan, the border czar, said to me yesterday he did not rule out literally arresting you, nor Mayor Bass, if you interfere in his words. He said you hadn't yet.
He's a tough guy. Why doesn't he do that? He knows where to find me. But you know what? Let your hands off 4-year-old girls that are trying to get educated.
But let them be
transgender
in sports.
People are just trying to live their lives, man.
Look, yeah, man.
Trying to live their lives, paying their taxes. Been here 10 years. The fear, the horror. The hell is this guy?
Look at him.
Come after me, arrest me. Let's just get it over with. Tough guy. You know, I don't give a damn. But I care about my community. I care about this community. The hell are they doing? These guys need to grow up. They need to stop. And we need to push back. And I'm sorry to be so clear, but that kind of bloviating is exhausting. So, Tom, arrest me.
Tom.
Let's go.
Tom, go arrest him.
Wow. I guess not all the acting and filming has moved out of California.
Rob, can you actually show some of the stuff that's going on there? Can you show some of the stuff that's going on there? Tom really liked this joke, but
he deserves an award.
Show some of the stuff. So this is what, Rob?
This is rioters breaking apart pieces of the street to use as projectiles against ICE officials.
Are you serious?
Yep.
There's a playbook on this.
And there's another video. That's not the only time that they've done it. I have another video, and I also have Karen Bass as well saying that. Here, this is that video.
This is what? They're breaking it to throw.
Yep, they're trying to create chunks of rock to be able to throw at the ICE officers during the riots.
By the way, there's a playbook for this. Humberto had a couple links where they say that to
Venezuela
aid
and Chile?
Yep, to aid the agitators, all you do is run up and down and then track the agitators to the street so they can pick up these and then throw at the police motorcades. This is a playbook item.
Can you show the clips, Rob, of them throwing stuff at the U.S. Marshal? You know which one I'm talking about?
This
where,
one?
This is the one. Yeah,
he's
this
gone.
One. Watch this.
They found who
Did
he is.
they?
Yep, they identified
This guy right here.
Scumbag. Yep.
Good, and he's got a helmet on. So
Yeah.
And you see those so that's water conservation area, Pat. So instead of grass, they put the sand and the rocks there to conserve on water use on public medians. And this guy's just digging them up with a screwdriver and then taking those rocks that you can see right there, and boom. It's just like it's like in the bullpen, relief pitching. Here you go.
So, Gavin Newsom, is this peaceful protesting? Is this? Rob, what else do we have? So they called National Guard.
And by the way, just to let you know, Pat, that guy, according to U.S. Attorney Bill, the FBI believes the rock thrower, this is them, is Elipidio Reina. E-L-P-I-D-I.
What's his background?
I would say, if I had to guess, he's a Mexican dude.
This is L.A. This looks like out of a movie,
Yeah,
by
but
the
that's
way.
peaceful, Pat. You never see, like, they're barbecuing.
And what are those cars, Rob?
Those are the Waymos.
Those are the Waymos.
Waymo taxis. These weren't cops. They just stopped these things. These were Waymos that were empty and supposedly, apparently going back to like the Waymo depot, where the little, driverless taxis park.
Yeah.
And these people stood in front of them, and the taxi's radar stopped it. They started spray painting on it and lit them on fire just because. There was no cops. There was no person in that.
What is this, Rob?
This is rioters shooting what looks like mortar rounds at the ICE agents yesterday.
Look, it looks like a movie set, doesn't it?
Seriously?
It looks like a movie set. Oh, yeah, they're throwing fireworks. That by the way, is dangerous as hell. People have blown their hands off from freaking
It's almost
fireworks.
like they're near Hollywood and they know how to
Take a
script
look
these
at
kind
this.
of things.
Black
Yeah, it's
shirts,
weird.
face masks, gas masks, backpacks, cameras. This is set up. They send 3 agitators and a cameraman. It's like a news crew, Pat.
Yep.
And here's the 101 freeway in downtown Los Angeles shut down as the rioters take over the streets.
By the way, this is programmatic. I'm going to show you something, Pat, that you haven't seen so I can get an instant reaction from you.
Yeah.
The text that I just sent you, Rob, pop that up. There is anonymous accounts
I got
on
it.
Craigslist. Here, pop it up.
Yep. It is.
Take a look at this. Anonymous accounts on, you got it?
Yep.
On Craigslist, looking for the toughest badasses in the city of Los Angeles, 6,500 to 12,000 per week, and they describe exactly what you're going to do. You're going to kick ass. You're going to do this. We'll give you high pressure, no risk, no room for hesitation. Need individuals who do not break, panic, or fold under stress. They're recruiting people to be part of the.
How do you know
riot.
this is tied to that?
The response is from L.A. and they took it down. It went
They just
all
took it
went
down last
all
night.
over in L.A.
But how do
And
you know? How do you know this is them though? So they're asking these guys to go do the damages
In
to
the area.
This supposedly popped up 2 days ago.
Let me read it. Physical. No. We are former select tough. Don't do in this unit will be activated when the situation demands. But you get paid every week, no matter what. High pressure, high risk, no room for hesitation. We need individuals who do not break, panic, or fold under stress, and are basically all around kick-ass dudes. Physical strength, speed, conditioning is important, but mental toughness is everything. If you're the biggest guy in the room, but you're you're the one people follow when things go bad, that's who we're looking for. We're recruiting those who are already hard badasses and ready to confrontation whenever necessary. However, we can train you if necessary. What we're looking for: mental toughness. You keep level head pressure, bravery. Okay, is there a phone number? Is there a phone number?
No, it was a
there?
Craigslist link.
It's a
Pat, and
Craigslist
it-
link to an anonymous email, and it got pulled down.
And now this
when
is
it
what
was
happens when you go on.
circulated.
It says this post has been removed.
It got
been removed.
circulated.
Somebody-
Law enforcement circulated it, and also alert people circulated it on X. And then all of a sudden, whoop, it goes down.
Is there a phone number to call where we can call them right now to see
No,
what
they
they
took
say?
it down. I wish.
You just called George
'Cause I'm an
Soros' office.
818
and he
phone
answers
number. I'd
and
love
you're
to
there.
call them to see what they're going to be saying.
Normally, what you do is you'll click that reply link, and then it'll send an email. But the email is usually
It's gone.
registered to a Craigslist
Look, this
account.
website, this is Craigslist.
Yes.
Craigslist still in business?
Yeah, of course.
Really? Wow.
I'm
okay.
interested about. Maybe we should, Rob. If you have a chance, look for like. Are they looking for protesters? Searching for protesters on Craigslist?
Hey.
Well, there's an older
protesters?
video from 7 weeks ago that if you look at this exists. For some people that don't think this exists. Watch this video here. They're protesting a complete different thing. Now watch these guys. You tell me if these guys are paid or not. Go ahead. You see that?
Eyes,
so this exists. This
eyes.
exists. And by the way, wasn't there a guy that, either wanted to come on the podcast or we talked about a Rob, whose business model is this? Do you remember that one guy who does pay protesters to go out there and make some noise? And what is that? What is Bass saying, by the way? Is there something with Bass?
So there's a few clips. Here's one where she actually blames the ICE immigration officials for the riots.
Go for it.
I just have to say that if you dial back time and go to Friday, if immigration raids had not happened here, we would not have the disorder that went on last night. I will tell you that it is peaceful now, but we do not know where and when the next raids will be. That is the concern, because people in the city have a rapid response network. If they see ICE, they go out and they protest. And so it's just a recipe for pandemonium that is completely unnecessary. Nothing was happening here. Los Angeles was peaceful before Friday.
Here. Right, for sure. Rob, do you have the National Guard being sent out? And there's a clip of a National Guard. Is this National Guard?
Yes. Here.
If you can show a clip. So they sent National Guard down. Okay? And this is when stuff gets serious. Where they're like, okay, we cannot mess with these guys. Look at this.
And
this looks like Venezuela. This looks like a different country. This is America, folks.
And those are tear gas and flashbangs, by the way. Those are not
grenades. They're
correct. And the ones that have like the triangular bubble on top, those are high velocity paintball that has CS gas in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And tear gas.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into this. Tom, your thoughts on this here, and what is the solution? Because as of right now, you hear the U.S. government. Do you have the famous Mexican flag guy that's all the way up, Rob?
Yes.
Who's becoming the face of the whole thing? You know which one I'm talking about?
Yes. I believe it is just a photo. Hang on one second.
And I just sent Rob something.
Here it is.
Yeah. That's the guy that's the guy. And I think they found this guy.
There's another guy with shirt off.
One,
there's one without a shirt on.
Standing
up, yes.
On a car that's been...
Rob, I just sent it to you.
Yeah, you'll find it. But Tom, your thoughts on everything that's going on? Because I got a lot of thoughts on this.
So my first thought is this is constructed. So remember, whenever the Democrats speak about this stuff, they're usually accusing you of what they're doing. This is what happened. The ICE raids started in LA, and there is a documented list of the criminal elements that were raided, and that led to certain protests starting. But then right on cue, you have Karen Bass and also Governor Newsom, and I'll pronounce his name right out of respect, said that they accused the government escalated it. No, the government didn't. These were paid agitators. This was highly organized. This was not organic, and that all the boil over of the pot was happening in LA before the president said anything. And then they blame the president. This is their playbook. Hey, when they start the raids next week, the paid agitators will come out. We're going to have that in place. And then the government's going to have to respond, and we're going to blame them for the escalation. It's a simple playbook. I believe that Craigslist post is exactly what it purports to be. I believe that. And I also believe what I see when you folks getting out of the cars here, we can see the paid agitators. We know that after George Floyd, that in Portland, Oregon, that there was Antifa that were actually paid by a secondary resource. We have it. We know it. That's what's happening now. And I think that what Newsom is doing is driving a wedge. I got got a minect from a guy that says, hey, will you cover on the podcast that there are a lot of us that are Latinos in LA. They're very frustrated by this because we think it's bringing a bad look to all Latinos. And there are those of us that are citizens that have assimilated multi-generation now into LA, and we're living peacefully. And when this happens, suspicion comes to us, which sucks. And we're against it because we don't want the unfettered immigration that brings a criminal element in either, because they come to our neighborhoods first because we speak Spanish and they can assimilate. So the bad guys actually come first to the neighborhoods of the Hispanics who are living peacefully because that's where they blend in. So I think this whole thing was planned, and it disgusts me to see it politicized. The people who are politicizing it are Karen Bass and Governor Newsom. Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco has said that he said, look, this is an embarrassment. He talked about the statement that was made by Kamala Harris. He said, this is a bit embarrassment. You don't know what you're talking about. The police are being overrun. And we have another sheriff that said, hey, we're being overwhelmed, I think was the phrase that the sheriff used. So really, you don't need government help. So I'm sorry for the rant, Pat, but this is completely staged. They're inventing the way to make it Trump's fault. And then you've got their own law enforcement saying, guys, we are honestly overwhelmed here.
Adam, thoughts?
So I know we're going to criticize the hell out of this thing, and I'm exactly no fan of it. But what I've been trying to do is understand the mindset of people that advocate for this. So to anyone out there that's shocked that this is happening, pretty sure Trump said exactly what he would do, and he's doing exactly what he said he would do. You know, when you campaign, it's like promises made, promises kept. This is what he campaigned on. But I'm sure Vinny, I'm sure Tom, I'm sure LA, PBD are going to comment on the atrocity that's happening in LA. And last week, I'm like, dude, I don't even give a shit about LA anymore. Every time we bring it up, it's always some nonsense. It's always some BS. But I took a step back, and I'm trying to understand why people advocate for this. And it comes down to the whole concept of critical race theory and intersectionality, which we brought up a ton of times on the BLM movement, on the Gays for Gaza, on the Free Palestine movement. Why is it intersect with what's happening in California today? So this whole open border mindset, like, why do they think this way? So I had a friend actually.
You said 90 seconds you've been saying, why do they think this way? And I'm still waiting.
Okay.
Well, tell me, brother, why do they think this way?
Okay. Well, thank you for that, Pat. I had a conversation with a good buddy of mine this weekend, and I thought that he was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
He's like, look, man, I support this, right? Like, I'm going to go down there. I'm going to put on my thing. I'm going to start supporting these things. These people should stay in the country. I'm like, you're kidding me? He's like, no. Like, I'm serious. I go, whoa. So here's what it comes down to. Number one, they think that ICE is a part of the patriarchy, and it symbolizes modern day oppression. So they think that the system is completely unjust, social justice warriors, and they think that their resistance is not only necessary, it's morally justified. So they feel that they have the moral high ground. Okay, great. They feel that way. Facts don't care about your feelings. Number two, they think that borders equal violence. That they think, in their opinion, and the way they feel, is that no human being is illegal, and that borders are completely artificial, and these arbitrary lines, it's not a crime if you cross them for survival.
Okay.
The third thing is that riots are completely justified rage, and that you're rioting for the voiceless. And in their opinion, the American dream belongs to everybody, not just the privileged. So at the end of the day, they feel like they're defending humanity. Now, obviously, we could give a whole...
This is all liberals who feel this way.
This is why they think they're right. So I'm trying to get my mind to understand, all right, why do you feel this way? Because obviously, if you're pro-USA and you're pro-border, a nation without borders is not a nation.
Those are not the problems, though. To me,
exactly.
Yeah. The problem isn't with the people that are against this. We know with the people that are against this. The problem is with the people that voted for Trump that are now saying this is not fair. He's dividing and doing all this other stuff.
Is that very common, though?
You would be amazed how many phone calls I had yesterday over this topic. Not the people that are against it, okay? Because here, and I want you to finish your thought.
Yeah.
Were those the 3 points, or did you have more?
Yeah, but really what it comes down to is the fact that, so when do you see people burning the American flag? When do you see who are these people?
Oh, there's videos of
I
them
have one. I
burning the
just
flag
sent
and
one.
celebrating.
I just sent one where he's spitting on it, Rob. I just sent it to you.
I don't know if we can play that, but here's one of a guy throwing the American flag into a fire.
Right, and then go back to the next one, Rob. That's the Kobe Bryant and Gigi one that you have right there. Watch this.
I'm downtown walking around. This is bullshit. Look what the fuck they did to the Kobe mural down here.
This is with
How
his daughter, by the
disrespectful
way.
can you be?
Look at this.
What a fucking joke.
Yeah.
You can pause it right there.
Disrespectful.
Okay. Were you going somewhere with the flag?
Yeah, I mean, to me, the flag is the ultimate symbol of whether you love America or don't love America. I'll give you one quick story. You know, I bought 1,000 of these flags. I went to Mar-a-Lago on my birthday, and they gave me these flags. I go, you know what? I'm gonna buy a ton of these flags, and everywhere I go, I start handing them out. And now it's usually the people that love America go, hey, sick pin, bro. And I give them a pin, and they go, thank you, as if I just gave them $1,000.
Right.
But then there's people that are like, ew, why are you wearing that flag? And I told you that one story of that one girl who was unproud to be American. This, to me, is the crux of what's going on. Either you love America and realize maybe, hey, we got some problems, and we need to fix it, but we're still the best country in the world. Or you hate America, and your whole concept is let's tear it down and start over.
Yeah.
And that's the crux of what's going on
Vinny,
here.
do you have opinions on this?
I do. And how do first we have to find out, how do we get to this point? How do we get here? And yeah, this is it's been a broken system forever. Trump is the only one that actually tried to do the border and the whole situation, but he was fighting tooth and nail. He had to deal with Russia collusion, all this shit. But this past 4 years, and I was talking with Jake, I'm tired of saying the Biden administration. No, Biden had nothing to do with it. It was all those people that were in charge of the auto pen that had a wide open border where over 20 million of these people are here, okay? And now, and we knew it was gonna hurt, we knew it was gonna suck, they're going after the people that aren't supposed to be here. And just to let everybody know what really happened, Pat, you mentioned this, like ICE wasn't out there just going up to people, grabbing children, because that's all bullshit mainstream media. They were serving criminal warrants. There was a business in LA that was under investigation for laundering money, customs fraud, wiring funds straight from Colombian cartels, and they were arresting gang members, armed robbers, and sex predators, okay? They were out there getting real monsters, and then when federal agents showed up to do their jobs, they were getting lit up in the streets, okay? And then you have Gavin Newsom, all right? I have to bring up Gavin Newsom. You are part of the problem, okay? This ad, by the way, perfectly waits a couple days for it to get to where it's the city's burning, and then comes out and blames Trump, okay? You're the same guy that is pro-illegal immigration. You're the same guy that made it illegal to ask for somebody's ID to vote. That's who he is, and that's who their country is. And let's not forget, Pat, what is the reason that the left, and Adam, to answer your point, open borders and all the whatever, and why the politicians love it? It's to inflate the census numbers. You know why? Because the more people that are in, the more seats they're going to get in the House. Okay, and that's why they lure these people in. Free healthcare, free housing, free credit cards, free hotels, and they don't give a shit about the people. Okay, you know what pissed me off the most out of this whole thing? Especially when it comes to ICE agents. Guys, federal agents with families, with lives that are trying to do their job. Okay, Hakeem Jeffries, he came forward, and in front of a camera, I sent it to Rob. Rob, you have it. Saying ICE agents should be unmasked. Okay? Think about that. He's not talking about policy. He's not talking about the border. He's talking about exposing federal law enforcement agents, what do you think that means, Pat? What does this guy, and I'm going to play this clip, what does this dead-eyed shill politician mean when he says they take off I want to expose who these people are doing their jobs, getting illegals out of this country? Play this clip, Rob.
Every single ICE agent who's engaged in this aggressive overreach and are trying to hide their identities from the American people will be unsuccessful in doing that. This is America.
No shit.
This is not the Soviet Union. We're not behind the Iron Curtain. This is not the 1930s. And every single one of them.
Look.
No matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will of course be identified.
So he wants ID these people.
Who does he want to identify?
ICE agents, the guys that are supposed to be.
So cops can't wear masks anymore?
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. He's saying unmask, but he's saying unmask him. He wants to reveal the identity of federal agents. Adam, that to me is inciting violence towards federal officers. Yeah. It's reckless and it's ridiculous, Pat. And the last thing I want to say, especially with the mask, when you're there and you're protesting and you're burning down the city, it should be illegal. You can't wear a mask. You can't be out there hiding your fucking face and then burning down the city. It's absolutely ridiculous. And the polls, Adam, to your point, the polls are saying they're pro this. We voted for it. I want this shit.
Yeah. So
okay?
let me speak to Californians who want California to turn red one day. To those of you guys that are still waiting for California to turn red, I'm going to speak to those guys. Okay. So Trump's campaign was they brought 15 million illegal immigrants during Biden's administration, record-breaking numbers. If you remember, 228,000 in 1 month, in December, record-breaking, and it kept breaking a record over and over and over and over and over again. And Kamala Harris didn't do nothing about it, and she was the border czar, and they try to tell us she's not, right? If you voted for Trump and you're wondering why he's doing this, this was a top 3 issue. So don't get it twisted. This is what he talked about he's going to be doing. So guess what states were going to be targeted by this? Your state, one of them. Texas is probably the other one. Arizona's another one. You got a few of those states that are going to be targeted. Probably Illinois, New York, a couple of the other places that will be targeted. That's one. Again, to the people in California that are saying they want the state to turn red. Number 2, they're using exactly this. This last week was the greatest week of the year for Democrats under Trump's administration. This was the greatest week for Democrats. Last week was the first week where they could actually say, awesome, look what's going on here. We have crisis, use it. Rahm Emanuel never let a crisis go to waste. One of them was what? Trump Elon? Oh my God, division. I smell blood. Go. Number 2, they've been waiting. I said we're going to go and deport people. Criminals is what we start off with first. They said this. They documented it. They're going after. Nothing they're doing, they didn't say they're going to be doing. They're doing exactly what they said they're going to be doing. You know how hard this job is? And I said it a year ago when a guy was saying, hey, I have a $750 million project. Can you please introduce it to the White House? It's going to take a lot of work to be able to deport 10 plus million people. This is not a simple little project that we have here that's going on, right? You know what I said? It's going to be so nasty. They're going to make the president look so bad. They're going to make him look cold-hearted. They're going to make all this stuff because the job, no matter what, as many people that hate it, these criminals that came here, raping all the other stuff that happened, all the Lakin, all these stories that was, no matter how much you got emotional about it, they're going to flip the script on you. And they're going to tell you, and they're going to tug at your heart. President Trump is dividing and, separation and mom and dad and all these kids and send them all these. This is not fair. Look what he's doing. And you're going to fall for it. And your state's going to stay blue for the rest of your life. This is what's going to happen. This may have extended California staying blue by an additional decade. This right here. Because you're falling for it. You, California, you're falling for it. Especially those of you guys that voted for Trump. You're falling for it. And they're getting you like this. Look how easy it is. They know how to tug your heart and control you and own you. They just know how to do it. They own you and they know it. They know, even the independents that flip the state, they know, don't worry about it. We know how to control these people. These people are weak-minded. They're so easy to get. They're going to be so quick to forget. Don't worry about it. They're going to forget the fires, Palisades. Who cares about that? These people are weak. We're going to own them. All these people that supported Trump and $1 trillion that left, don't worry. We're going to own them. These are weak conservatives. They don't have a backbone. We own them just by doing this. And you as a conservative who may be watching this as an independent, that you're falling for this trap, they got you. What do they call it? Hook.
Line and sinker.
Boom, they got you. And you go, oh my God, it's breaking my heart. Yeah, okay, so now let's talk about the other side. What's the other side? The other side is the people that have been there for 20 years, that are part of society, that have been living in California. Their kids are going to school here. They're 17 years old. They're 16 years old. They were not born in Mexico. Their parents came here illegally. They broke a law. That's a crime, which, by the way, I'm telling you this is going to sound weird when I say this to you. I actually understand breaking that law. If I'm living in, Sinaloa, if I'm living in, Guanajuato, if I'm living in Guerrero and I'm having kids are being, Mexican mafia cartel, if they're doing what they're doing, I'm leaving and finding a way to come here and I'm committing a crime to come here. But it's still a crime. but I'm still doing it. I understand the crime I'm committing. Did you just say that? Yes. If I know someone's harming my daughter, I am ready to commit a crime. And I know it's a crime. As a father, it's my job to protect my daughter. I'm ready if you cross that line with the family. So don't get it twisted. I have a lot of good friends whose parents came across the border, and they're phenomenal people, and they're friends of mine. But it is a crime. Now, what Trump has an opportunity to do with their camp, the way Reagan and some others tried to do in the past, if he can find a way to take this argument away from liberals, like he's been doing on so many different arguments, where the people that have been institutionalized into the system, that all they know is, I just know America. I was never born in Mexico. I'm 17 years old. But my mom and dad came here legally. If those people get deported and you don't find a way to get them in the system, you know, you're going to lose out on an opportunity here that the Trump administration ought to consider on what to do with. They have to. It is a crime. Allow me to pay back for my crime in a way. Give me the options, okay? Hey, you committed a crime. I did, officer. What do? You can either do, community service. You can either pay $250 fine or do this. Great. Let me know what my crime is. I just want to let you know. I work. I pay taxes. My kid has a 4.2 GPA. My kids are doing this. I'm a good contributor to society. Allow me to have a way. All right, you need to go do this. This is the fine. No problem. For 1 year, your salary is going to be, 20% tax that you're going to have to pay for this, and that. You know how you do, what do you call it, when somebody gets a divorce and you have to pay alimony or whatever? Yeah. There's a form of alimony that you owe to the country that you have to pay for 3 to 5 years. I would create a form of punishment. And you know what? A lot of people would be willing to pay for it.
Of course.
A lot of people would be willing to pay for it. Those guys. But if you have a criminal record, you came here illegally, you did this, you did that, and whoever came the last year, 2 years, you are not part of our society. 2, 3, 4 years. You just came here and you're causing mayhem. Zero hesitation. And by the way, this whole sanctuary city that they don't want to talk about. They don't want to go and take the responsibility of what the sanctuary city thing is that's going on in California, all over the place, San Francisco. They don't want to touch that. It is a mess. But conservatives, please understand this. Be very careful with flattery and be very careful where people try to talk to you with here and they break your heart and they control you. That's Newsom's profession. He just did that earlier. And they know how to deflect. They know how to blame. They know how to act like victims. They know how to get in front of these Mexican, Hispanic families and feel like they're there for them. They're not there for them. They don't give a shit about those families. They care about the vote, and that's it. They don't care about anything else but that. And if you're naive enough to fall for it, good luck with California. California may have been getting closer to possibly become a red state in the next 2-3 elections. Extended 10 years on what could happen with that. Fathers, dads, if you're out there, our weekend that nobody talks about is coming here. You know how crazy it is? It's to the point that for Father's Day, sometimes fathers don't get anything for themselves, that they buy stuff for themselves. They're like, I'm going to buy a gift for myself. And they go, this is for you, Dad. This is your weekend. And we know America can only get safer. Taxes can go lower if fathers do their job. Great fathers make this country safer. Great fathers make the economy work because they raise citizens that become great citizens in our society. And we have some special items that Chris, our model, is here to show you. But before doing so, our actor, very famous, legendary model actor, is in our commercial for VT Dads. I want you to watch this clip here. Go for it, Rob.
Look at those elbows. Stud.
Get that. Look good. The best dad jokes in town.
Dill. Look at that guy. Look at that stud. Oh, put that coffee mug down, dog.
Oh, my goodness. Look at that. VT Merch, Father's Day. Chris, what do we have? Tell the audience what new items we have here.
Absolutely. So every item that we're going to show, except for the last one, is going to be $99 and below. So perfect gifts for dad. So we have 3 watch carriers here for dad. So super plush inside. First is cognac. For the single watch, future looks bright, always on the inside. Second watch, we have a double tan.
I love those.
Beautiful browns.
Yep.
Genuine leather.
Keep your watches together?
It's sick, by the way.
For the fathers that have the 3, black Future Looks Bright Lion Shield. Again, super plush on the inside, black on black.
Is that full leather, like
Full genuine leather.
Yep.
Premium product. And then once we go into Father's Day, we know the stereotypical gift, always give dad a tie.
A tie that he never wears,
A tie that he never wears, but this comes with not just a tie, a matching handkerchief. You could see, zoom in there.
Handkerchief you could wear.
Lion Shield within it,
Sick.
100% silk. Last but not least here, we have our cufflinks tie bar set. We have 2, black and red. Last but not least,
you got to see this next size.
here we are, second, our set for $49.99. You're gonna have a beautiful, beautiful packaging here that you can see.
That's what, the wallet?
Wallet
That's
set.
the only wallet I wear. Look at this.
Pat wears this. I promise. I see him have this on every day.
Yeah.
Now we're giving you a keychain with it, a little lion shield
Sick.
in there.
How much is the wallet and keychain?
$49.99.
That's a steal. I'm not going to lie.
And
stealing it after.
it comes with beautiful packaging for dad. We have brown, black, and we have a beautiful pewter gray.
Limited supply on the wallet.
Limited supply, guys. And then once we go into apparel, what screams dad is polos. Premium performance fabrics.
How good is that quality right there, Chris?
This
I
to
just
me
felt that it was
is
insane.
any above and beyond. This should be $200 in any other retailer. You know we're about value here at Valuetainment. So beautiful maroon. This is personally my favorite. And then we have our white for our polo golf days.
With the gold buttons. Okay.
And if you zoom in, our buttons
The
have
Valuetainment
little
logo,
lion
that's
shields
sick.
within it. And then we always end with Future Looks Bright when you
Back.
walk away.
Look at that jacket.
Nice.
What is that jacket right
So
there?
this is for the super dads out there. You could see a stitched lapel, electric blue. We know that Pat loves electric blue. This is one of those energetic cobalt blue, exactly. So, and if you look in, we have our little lion shield buttons, inside interior taping with lion shields all within, lion shield branding. So every little touch that you see.
That's obviously limited supply by
Limited
sizes,
supplies,
so
guys.
be sure to place the order on that.
Absolutely. And I will kick it back to you, Pat.
Okay, thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Kicking it back.
You got- that was like QV style, Chris.
I
That
love
was
it.
incredible.
Thanks for
Anyways,
that
guys,
kickback.
whether it's for you, whether it's for your father, whether you work with others who are fathers, get them a gift, surprise the hell out of them. Those watch cases are sick. The shirt is amazing, and the jacket for you. We have the sizes there for you to get.
I might go get somebody pregnant just to be able to be
Just
a
to be
dad.
able to
just
do that.
have-
Well,
yeah.
Adam just took one of the shirts and wore it.
love
Anyways,
it.
go to vtmerch.com, place an order, and surprise somebody you love who is a great father. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.